starting with coffee. So I think today's another beautiful day to capture a vintage vlog with this iPhone 6. Let's see how this one turns out. It's a nice warm day. I think it's in the 20s and a bit overcast, so it should be nice to walk. I made a bit of an itinerary today, starting with coffee, obviously. I found a very good French restaurant that I want to take you to, some bookstores, and then this kind of like vintage perfume boutique. So, and then whatever we find along the way. Welcome to another day in Paris. So today I'm rocking the Albert Heijn tote bag from Amsterdam, AirPods, and let's go. I'm walking from Bastille, which is where I'm staying, into Ile Saint-Louis, and it's about a 10 to 15 minute walk. Made it across the river, and this is where we have our very first coffee stop to keep on going. All right, first up is Mini Cafe. They are this tiny coffee shop in Ile Saint-Louis. Their Instagram page says that they're the smallest coffee shop in Paris, so we'll take their word for it. I was very pleasantly surprised when I got there to see that they had Friedhat's coffee. They are a micro roastery based in Amsterdam that I discovered last year on one of my trips to another coffee shop, which was recommended to me by somebody in Marseille. So it's crazy how the world works. The cookies looked killer and the smell was like right out the oven. I don't know how I have willpower not to eat these things, but I skipped on the cookies. The coffee was amazing. I had an Ethiopian origin. They have quite a big deck, so a lot of space to drink outside and chill. 10 out of 10. So made it across to the Latin Quarter and stumbled onto this tiny market. I think they're open Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings. But there are tons of these markets all over Paris, so you're bound to hit one. They have fresh produce, fruit, cheese, flowers. Really cool to visit. Very fun to buy stuff from here. I am walking towards the destination, which you'll get to see right after this, but I stumbled onto the Academy of Fine Arts, and they were having an exhibition with the participants and winners of a drawing contest. And so the works are mostly done in charcoal, pencil, ink, pen, and it was amazing to see. Very few people here. I loved the curation with the dark environment, mostly black and white works, and my favorite were these two colorful prints at the end. Okay, pro tip, always come prepared with an umbrella in Paris because it's bound to rain at some point. Anyway, made it to Officine Universelle Buly. I was very curious to come and check out the store despite the 40-minute wait, which is way more than I like to wait anywhere. It's a boutique that was created in 2014, not from 1803 as most people think, but it's very much heritage inspired in a 19th century pharmacy that was very famous in Paris. So the long line was a good opportunity for me to read, and the wait was not that terrible. Before I knew it, I was at the head of the line and time to go in. As soon as you walk through the door, you go back in time to an era where everything was made of walnut cabinets, marble counters. There's a calligraphy service desk. The product packaging and imagery and layout is all from a different era. So boutiques designed to evoke the pharmacies of the 1800s was beautifully crafted. As you can see, I made some friends here because we bonded over this long line and we're finally happy to get in. I was trying to see which products to take home as a souvenir. Most people are here for the perfumes. They had most perfumes sold out, by the way. But I went for a less expensive option just kind of a gift for myself. And stay tuned to the end for the unboxing. So check off the map. And on we go, time for lunch. I was definitely not expecting such a long delay at Buly, and now it's way past my lunchtime and I am starving. So I wanted to bring you to Bouillon Chartier. Unlike Buly, this is the real deal. This location is indeed from 1903. Bouillons are kind of like historic dining halls of the Belle Epoque. So communal tables and simple traditional French dishes. Prices are unbelievably reasonable. I ordered a shaved carrot salad and then an oven roasted fish with a generous portion of green beans. This whole meal was about $18. Devoured my food. So if you see bouillons, you'll find quite a few around Paris. I definitely recommend you check any of these out. 10 out of 10. I've had the Giacometti Institute pinned on my map for a while, and since I was nearby today, I felt like this was the right time to visit. This is a very small museum, tiny, tucked away, and entry is limited to just a few people at a time, which makes the experience feel almost private. At the center is a full reconstruction of Giacometti's studio exactly as he left it. Plaster sculptures, brushes, fragments of his work in progress. It's really raw and very personal, so I liked this part of the museum. The rest of the space rotates with themed exhibitions. It's very quiet, intimate, and definitely worth the detour if you like Giacometti's work or prefer more intimate exhibition settings than huge crowds at the Louvre. So heading home because I've drained the battery on both my phones at this point. But I walked by this bookstore and I wanted to take a look inside because it just seemed a bit too chaotic. So I kind of love the way that the store is just a bit of a mess with books everywhere. And the owner was very nice to let me come in and record. But yeah, I would love to be this type of messy person and have my apartment this way, but I'm too much of a neat freak to live in this chaos. I kind of like to just dwell in it for a minute if it's not mine. So anyway, brief pit stop, off we go. All right, so battery draining quickly. On my way home to the right bank. Let me know what you think of this video's format, if you liked the vintage imagery of the iPhone 6. If you have any tips, recommendations, suggestions, let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Follow for more vlogs coming your way, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay, so I was able to get home and charge this phone. I forget that these older models, the battery doesn't last. So I just wanted to unbox this so you could see what I got. So the first item that I got is this orange toothpaste that has orange, ginger, and clove. But the cool thing about this, obviously, is this piece of hardware. You screw this on to close it, so it has a very, very cool kind of like base to stand on. Okay, and the second item that I got is this shaving cream, and I love the branding. I mean, that to me is very important in a product. And I love the contrast with the cherub and kind of like this demon figure. I kind of bought the thing mostly because of the hardware. So the damage was like 60, which is high, but you know, it's a special gift. I almost forgot that they tossed in this freebie. I think it's a mouthwash. Here's a receipt. Yeah, so €20 for the toothpaste, and then 30 for the shaving cream. And each of the hardware pieces is €7. So voila, that's my big splurge of the month. 9 p.m., still light out. Time to sleep. See you next time.